Okay, yes, this video does sound like clickbait, but hear me out. So I'm not sure what year or time you might be watching this, but somewhere around 2020 to 2021, somewhere around there, people didn't want to go outside because of a tiny little protein package called COVID. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, I did my part and stayed at home if I didn't need to go outside. But this meant my entire day was spent on the computer as there's really not much else to do at home. Making videos, video games, programs, watching YouTube, checking Discord from time to time were things I did. It sounds bad, but what else could I do? Heck, this channel is only here on the internet to some extent because I was bored as hell during this stay-at-home period. But notice how I said most of my day was spent on the computer. Of course, I would get up from time to time, get water, eat food, whatnot, but there was something even more deadly at play. My posture. I know, I sound like I'm 80, but for lack of a better illustration, around March 2020, somewhere around there, I'd sit down like this. Perfectly straight, nothing wrong. Somewhere around January 2021, after doing this for about 2/3 of a year, I became a literal monkey. I literally sat like this. This is a bit exaggerated, but more or less my back became curved after all this time. Now, this doesn't cause any problems by itself. Bad posture will only affect my future self, but nothing in the present right now. It was just a combination of my chair, desk, and a bunch of other factors which I have some clue about that gave me carpal tunnel syndrome. Now, it sounds scary, but basically carpal tunnel is pain in your wrist because you use the computer the wrong way. The only reason I got this carpal tunnel syndrome, or whatever you want to call it, basically pain in my wrist, is because I used the computer the wrong way. What does that mean? I basically held the mouse in the wrong position, I was typing in a weird angle, stuff like that, and it was because of my posture, my back. This is mainly because I learned how to program. I spent an ungodly amount of time typing away at my keyboard, and one could ask, should I be blaming programming for all this? No, but looking back, I programmed more than I gamed over the past few months, so I'd like to believe it was caused by programming. Well, the title of the video does say I ruined and fixed my hands because of programming, so how did I fix it? Well, while learning Godot, which is a game engine, I made a couple apps. Not games, but apps. I have them on itch.io if you want to check them out, and maybe a website I'll make later, but basically these are the apps, and one of them in particular fixed my carpal tunnel. This stupid simple app of reminding you one thing every X number of minutes changed my life. And do you know what I needed to be reminded of every single minute? Fixing my posture. And for the past 3 to 4 months, I've been staring at this at the bottom right of my screen. It's not annoying. I don't mind it. And when it does flash, which it does so often, I go from monkey posture to human posture. It's really amazing. And I don't know any app like this, so I'm really happy that I fixed my own problems with my own tool. Now, one could argue, did you really need to learn to program? I mean, if you didn't learn to program, then you would never have got carpal tunnel, and your wrist wouldn't sound like this. I'm not sure how well that comes up in the recording, but going off the script right now, and this is literally how my wrist sounds. Did I really need to learn to program? You're a biology major after all, you don't need to learn to program. To that I answer, no, don't ask me that. Making games and websites is fun. And sure, now my wrist sounds like a bag of bones being cracked all the time, but at least I'm working on it and fixing it with my own tools. Now there are a couple lessons I'd like you to take away from the video, just because I don't like making videos without any purpose. 2 lessons I'd like you, the viewer, to take away is if you have any issue in your life at the moment, just ask yourself, what's the big issue? Is there any solution I can make or somehow buy or figure out or invent by myself? Because more often than not, you could probably fix it. The doctor that I went to for my carpal tunnel gave me this stupid wrist brace which was $40, and it didn't fix the problem, it just fixed the symptom. Now, one could ask, did that wrist brace help me? Yes, it did help me a bit, but I would say my program, which I had on my screen all the time reminding me to fix my posture, helped even more. I stopped using the wrist brace after I bought it. I stopped using it after a week because it didn't help me anymore. It actually hindered how I would grab my mouse, and I didn't like to use it. And I just found that fixing my posture manually by looking at the screen whenever it would tell me to fixed my problem way better than a medical wrist brace. Now, should I use the wrist brace? Yeah, I should. But did I fix my problem without it? Yeah, I think I fixed my problem without it, and I don't feel any more pain in my wrist. So I think the problem's solved. So yeah, just if you have any issue, try to solve it yourself. See what you could do. What can you make? What can you smash together to build? Who knows? Maybe you'd make a product out of it. And number 2, keep good posture. You'll need it for your future self.